Welcome to everybody. Today we will have a workshop held by me and my colleague Elena Milli. My name is Stefano Cobello. I'm responsible and coordinator for a national network of education institutions called European Polo of Knowledge. And Elena Milli, she's here with me. Introduce yourself.
Hello to everyone. I'm a collaborator of European Polo of Knowledge. I am a psychotherapist. And welcome to this workshop.
Okay, and this workshop is quite particular. We will talk about why to teach about pro-social value, why to have kids believing in those pro-social values. So Elena, you can start with the PowerPoint.
Okay.
So, educate your future society of solidarity. What does it mean, solidarity then? And you notice this is the logo, the title of the project, European project supported by the European Commission, the logos of the partner, our institution, which is a public body, no profit in Italy, USHAC Educational Department, Provincial Educational Department, Trakia University, Panevisio Svetimo Centras is Director of Education in Lithuania, Junta de Castilla y León, Spain, the second biggest region in Europe, and Friends of Education in North Macedonia. Okay, we can start with the first slide. What is solidarity? Solidarity is a word made of solid, something that becomes solid. Solidarity is, we wanted to start with like thinking about a sentence that Lenin was pronouncing during one of his very famous speeches. How can I be happy if my neighbor is not? No, really, the sentence was, how can I be happy when my neighbor is suffering or starving? And well, how can we think about a better society, a better future, if there is a 3/4 of the world who is suffering? I think as far as we can hide away ourselves in our shelter, in our well-being country, in our wealthy reality, we can hide away what's happening outside. Even if everything is filtered by mass media, we are one world. We are on the same planet. We breathe the same air. We drink the same water. We feel the same thing. We have the same scare. We lie, we live, and we die. But in some countries, life has different conditions. What we give for granted in our society, because we are used to it, to have heating, to have a roof, to have a house, job, enough money to eat, the water, one of the biggest and most important resources in the world. It's something that the other part of the world is looking for. Elena, can you go forward for a moment? Thank you.
So then we somehow from another point of view are saying the same thing. It comes from the gospel and is love your neighbor as yourself, because there is no commandment greater than these. Many of us already heard these words that somehow they are just words for many people, because it's very complicated, as Stefano is saying, to be there and love the others. So care for them properly, loving them. So this love is somehow connected with the solidarity, because they come from the same meaning. So being there, being a human being connected to the other, and care for them as much as we care for us. So the neighbor nowadays is the person living just next to us, but also someone from the other countries.
Thank you, Elena. I'm sorry for interrupting, but I had someone complaining in the building. Okay, what is important that our system, our welfare style of life is so fragile and so unsecure, unstable, that in one day we can get the same condition, like condition of this part of the world that we try to avoid. The problem is that we are building up walls, borders, passports, to defend the poorest part of the world from the richest, thinking that what we own, it's more important than how we live. The problem is that we try to defend ourselves from those people that are dying. And not only because we think they're coming here to steal the job, because it's impossible to steal the job. Job is not something that can be stolen at all. Because it's not something concrete. Job is something that is being offered on a market that works properly. But we are afraid of what we can imagine and see. This is the contradiction in our society, because when we are getting closer to the human being of other nation, the same person that before they are refusing those people, they are accepting them and welcoming them. From one side, they are instructed to refuse them, to defend the system. And on the other side, when they see the real person and they touch the real needs, they become solid with them. They become empathic with them. And you see, this picture is quite evident. This is a refugee that probably had a problem, but any one of us can become disabled in life. In every moment, we don't know what's going to happen. We can have a disease, we can get anything, and a part of our body can be affected by it in order to give us some kinds of disability. Solidarity means that someone is taking care of the other. Someone can share the will to feel in one word. Solidarity is something that probably it's very difficult to find as a concrete act among people. Well, some organizations are, of course, collecting money, but concretely, when you need something, very often you're alone. A solidarity society is not only a solidarity made of people taking care of other people, but it's a society made of rules and laws made in order to support each other when they need something. The world is not so different from side to side. And we want to mention these things because it's very important. Solidarity is also sharing, but not charity. Charity is a compensation for our conscience, for something that we have. Charity is made by big groups or very rich people. They make a lot of charity indeed. But how much are they spoiling the people working for them? And how much in compensation they give to the other? This doesn't compensate the quality of the life of the people. For example, let's imagine Bhopal, which is a chemical industry, gives a lot of charity during the year. But how much is spoiling around the world and is responsible for, I don't know, just imagining getting resources from poorest country for very cheap and selling for very expensive. Well, we don't know exactly. That was just an example, but I remember what happened in India, how many people died when Bhopal wasted on the air very, very dangerous gas, and nothing has been done after that. And there's no money compensation. So the charity is economical compensation or something that shouldn't be economical. The quality of life is given not by only money, it's given by relationship. So to be benevolent towards poor doesn't mean give them money. you will never help to get rid of their condition. But it's to share interest and responsibility with them, helping them to feel integrated, including them. And yesterday we've been talking about the stigma. Poor people has a big stigma towards rich people. They feel inferiors. They feel excluded. They feel they will never be able to reach any kind of sufficient level to be part of the society, even because the richest part of the society has access to a lot of technological resources, which are running very fast. Poor people, they don't have money for those resources, so they are not able to handle those resources. Let's imagine smartphones. Let's imagine all the equipment that we are normally using, even a webcam, even Zoom that we're using now. Poor people, they are not able even to get closer to these tools. If you take them, you give a computer, they are not able to use it, because learning is a process. It's not something you give, I give you resources, they don't know what to do with those resources. And the barrier is both sides. Rich people has a very, very strong invisible barrier towards people. Do you know which is the first one? It's stinking, dirty. When you see a refugee, you don't think about what this person is living into it. You immediately feel the stinking, and you see how dirty and ragged is this person. I mean, with ragged clothes, and maybe there is still in some people a consideration that it can be infective, especially nowadays. Infection seems to come for what our system imagine is the poorest country, like Ebola, for example. I don't want to talk about coronavirus, but there are so many implications at political, socio-political level. But this is quite important to think which are the barriers that are forcing us, at least it's like an impediment, it's like a barrier to build up our solidarity activity. And Elena, can you go forward?
Yes, I want to say that solidarity is not just giving money, but also opportunities. So that's some of the ideas behind European Polo of Knowledge, isn't it?
Yes. Now, I want to explain our organization. Then, our organization, why we put the word knowledge. Why a pole of knowledge? Pole is not because we are the center of the world or just a reference, but we want to be an organization sharing knowledge. The reason why we are doing everything for nothing, for free, sometimes it's taken like, oh, maybe it's not so important. Look at the audience from the picture we had during our conferences and workshops. And why? Because we are acting, sharing everything that we have. This is our first step of solidarity. We feel in solid with the people that need anything, especially knowledge. Knowledge is a power. It's a very big power in every society. Knowledge is the key to access to further career, to position, and even in life position. Knowledge is like education, is a key element for poorest people to get a possibility to improve their lives. Knowledge is one of the main aspects. So if the people they know, they can improve the human condition, their human condition. And that's why our organization, which is a public body, a network of schools, is working for the future to prevent exclusion. Because on the other side of inclusion, with solidarity, there is exclusion. And I think also charity is a kind of maintaining the barrier. I give you the money which passed the barrier, but you stay in your world. Solidarity means that we pluck down the barrier, and you are coming in our world to be part of the same reality. That's why we share knowledge, mainly. Is that okay? Do you agree, Elena?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you. Okay, you can go forward if you want to add anything. Okay, we are fighting for this attitude and state of mindset. We are fighting, and we are writing projects for that. And I would like to ask to Milli to explain about RIGHTS project, which is a strategical European project approved by an Italian National Erasmus Plus agency to us.
Okay. It's a part of our work, as Stefano is saying, about promoting inclusion and giving to the future generation some way to understand what is solidarity. This project is thought as a bridge that can link the generation. We are in a period, in a moment of the history in which we are losing the fundamental rights without being aware of that, or we give them for granted. So we want to involve the elder people, the old people, and the persons that fought for those rights, that knew what happened when those rights are not available, are not respected, to tell the stories to the young generation in order them to understand from what this society, our society, comes from. So we wrote this project to tell the stories of the rights through we call them the tales in the luggage or in the box. You see from the picture that there are small boxes, like luggages, that holds inside a real theater for the puppets. And the seniors are going to tell famous history, like famous stories, like for example Pinocchio or Don Quixote, tells the stories of the rights to the children in primary and first secondary schools.
Okay, what does it mean a project? A project means something that will be fulfilled within 3 years. And in this project, we have here some partners in this project. One of them is Marian Blanco from the region Castilla y León. And when they become a partner, they accept to be a partner, like our friends from Lithuania and so on. They decide to adopt the same idea. We become solid. We become like an army to fight for the same rights. The right not to forget about the rights. The rights not to be homologated. The rights not to forget those, like the picture that you see, has something to say how they have been living and fighting for those rights. And we know that in some parts of the world, there are no rights at all. People that have no rights. And the first right is to have that nobody kills you. The war, destroyed the main right for kids, children, mothers, senior people, youngster soldier, because the soldier is a young boy indeed, not to be killed. The war allows people to kill each other easily, thinking that is an enemy. The second very important right is the right to have something to live. We normally think about, oh, a job. No, I mean a job. But someone will help us to feel citizens of a country and protect us not to starve to death. But this is connected with another right, which is very, very important. The right that the most powerful people cannot smash the poorest, cannot impose jungle law on the poorest people, to find a country that protects everyone at the same level. This is a very fundamental right. And through this right, you get the right to be educated. The right that we call compulsory to go to school. To a certain age is compulsory, but this compulsory, it's a right that up to 70, 80 years ago, didn't exist. It was existing only for rich people and not for poor people. So this is fundamental right, because when you can read, when you can write, you can have access to any further education level. But if you don't have the basic literacy in every field, you can go forward and you cannot have the same right as the other people. Just if you are in front of a tribunal and they ask you something that you don't understand, your right disappear immediately. So we've been thinking about some fairy tales, fairy or stories. Every country has to choose one personal per country, and we have selected two common in all the, how many countries, Elena? 7?
5.
7 countries. 5. Sorry, I didn't listen to your word.
Yes, 5.
Okay, 5 countries. And the first 2 stories, one was very important, Don Quixote, Spanish hero, fighting against windmill, but also very powerful people to protect the weakest part of the society. Another one is Pinocchio, because inside there are lots of the history and important rights, right for education, right for the justice, right not to children to go to work, to protect children and so on. And then Italy has chosen a further more right. And we have chosen Dante Alighieri, the Divine Comedy, which includes a lot of rights into it. But we have imagined Don Quixote in a very, very informal way. We imagine it as the 2 main, one of the 2 most important people of the last half of century, and Falcone and Borsellino, 2 heroes that have been killed by the very powerful people, the mafia in this case, because they were defending the right of the people. They were defending the right of the poorest. They were defending the justice, the right to get a proper justice system. And so this project is going on. We just started this year, and we will have a training course in January for those that want to learn how to make these luggages, as you see there with the mask and the stories, and want to learn how to create proper online, proper lessons with those little theaters. Can we go forward, Elena, to our solidarity? Solidarity is also a concept that grows up in group, not individual. We are living in a very individualistic society. A society that consider only those that can reach the highest level and they have success, money, power. But working in group, as Elena always says, we go slowly, but we grow up together. This is a very good example of the society, of a modern and solidal society. And if we grow up all together, we can reach a higher level and help those weaker part of the society with learning disability, with learning difficulties, with special needs, to enhance their level and to feel part of a group and not to feel excluded. That's why we created into our idea of solidarity a network called Nobody Less. Because even if we lose one, we lose a very important thing. It means differences. It means that we are not able to imagine a society made of everyone, only for those who can afford it, who are smarter, who can access to education, who can reach any kind of level in the society, but we are losing that part of the population, and they are not considered anymore as human beings, and they have no rights indeed. So we have written another project, Robotics versus Bullying, and to help children in group to find a solution by their own, how to prevent and to help people affected by bullying, but also how to set free the bullier. Because they imagine every person could be affected by bullying, but they imagine as a prisoner also the bullier, prisoner of himself. And not to exclude even the bullier, because when they are able to include the bullier in the group, the bulliers stop to be a bullier. It becomes part of the group. It feels included. So the kids have made a wonderful work, and we are also just started. It's only 1 year that we're starting this project, but this project started many, many years ago in Italy in our experiments with Clementoni company. And the result was that we've been training 150 teachers, and those teachers been experimenting the use of small dock robot in classroom. And the result was the kids has been starting to work on the topic in a marvelous way. And they found incredible creative solutions to tackle this problem and to prevent this problem. Elena, thank you. Okay, now do you want to continue you about spam? Spam is also, it's my idea, but it's your creation. You created. You've been writing this project, and this project is something that maybe you can explain to our audience today.
Well, it's still in the idea of solidarity, this movement of school plastic free, because it's not just the way we can help the others is also through the respect of the nature and in cleaning the earth and reducing the pollution. So make this world a better world, not just for us, but for everyone. So in a certain way it's a way that we can teach the children to be more responsible and open to the others, to be less individual. So the children will become scientists that will research about the plastic and how the plastic can be substituted by other objects like glass, like wood, like other materials. Okay. Is there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Elena.
Yeah, I think there is a problem with the screen. Can you still see the screen?
No, we see a black screen.
Yeah, it happened something with the screen.
Here again, the screen, please. Something went wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's probably, we see something, but probably it's a line problem.
I think it's in my computer directly because I see just a black screen.
Yeah, okay. So close and start again. I will give you permission to continue. In the meanwhile, I want to continue.
Can you stop the sharing for me, please?
Yes, I stopped the sharing, but you started the sharing. It's not me sharing.
Yeah, but I cannot see anything at the moment. That's the problem.
Elena, I don't see anything with you of your.
Okay.
I can push you off if you want.
Yes, please.
No, I cannot push you off. I can withdraw the host permission and remove. Okay, join again. I'm sorry, Elena has some problems. And oh, so I see all of you reappear as well now. Hello, Catherine from Paris. We have a lot of people from all over the world. Okay, so we wait for Elena to join us again. Probably it was my fault, as usual. don't see Elena. Anyway, this project aims also to other aspects. One of the most important is to, oh, here is Elena. Thank you, reappeared.
Yeah, sorry, it was just a
now
crash.
You can continue.
Okay, it was
Thank
a crash in the system. 1 second.
So it aims also to make aware the pupils, they, in the future, they can be the main actors for saving the planet. They can choose a scientific career, not only for business, but for very important ideals to prevent the use of plastic, to substitute plastic with other ecological and compatible with the planet elements, or 100% recycling material. Can you open your PowerPoint, Elena?
Okay, do you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
I see only dark. It's maybe my problem. I see dark.
I see the screen.
Okay.
Yes, me too.
Okay, great.
Sorry, if I see dark, I cannot record anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Stop and I'll share again.
Very strange. Maybe it's my problem, but I cannot exit. Okay, Elena, I give you the host, not the co-host permission, but I don't want to make a mistake with the system.
I think.
I see dark. Okay. Can you see the screen, the PowerPoint?
Yeah.
In a PowerPoint, okay.
Yes.
It means that I go out and in. I will give you permission, Elena.
Okay.
You are host now.
Okay.
And I leave and come back.
Okay.